Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to take you with me throughout the entire month as I show you what we're up to here on the homestead. In my last video, I showed you guys that Gideon built a chicken tractor for our meat chickens. Our second set of meat chicks in the house were ready to be transferred outside because they were getting a little bit too crowded in their water troughs where we had them. So we're going to move our oldest meat chicks out to the chicken tractor, and then we'll put the ones from the house out into the garage where these chicks were at. Gideon put wheels on the back end so that we can easily pull this thing forward and move it to fresh grass, and then he put some metal on the sides and on the back so that they can have shelter if it rains. As I said, this was our second set of meat chicks. We had gone to Tractor Supply and picked up everything that they had left since they were half off. We came home with 26 chicks, and then we just had them in the house until we were able to move them out to the garage. I was really glad to get these out in the garage so that the house would be a little bit more quiet. These chicks can be really noisy with all of their peeping and chirping constantly, so I was glad to get them out of the house and out into the garage.
We'll leave him in here for a little bit yet, and then we're going to leave him out.
Good morning, it is a new day. I'm getting ready to make some bread. I'm using hard red wheat. I am all out of hard white. Today I'm using duck eggs that I got at a local bulk food store. I got these to use for baking. I don't really think they're as good for eating, but we'll use them for baking.
Okay. $40.
So last time I made bread, I made cinnamon swirl bread, and my family said they would like to have some with raisins in it. So I'm going to take my dough, divide it in half, and then we're going to add raisins to half of this. I think that looks good enough. So now I need to wash my hands because this dough is very sticky.
Just a full scoop.
A full scoop? Okay, we'll do a full scoop.
And then a flowing scoop.
Now that my bread is cooled off, I'm going to make a simple vanilla glaze to put over the raisin bread, and then we'll leave one loaf plain for toasting for breakfast. So I'm adding 1 cup of powdered sugar to my bowl. I want this glaze to be a little bit on the thicker side so that it doesn't run off of the bread. So I'm going to do 1 and 1/2 tablespoons of milk and then a little bit of vanilla extract to this powdered sugar. Yesterday we noticed that our chicks were not feeling so great, so we went and got some chores for them. There are a few that aren't drinking, so we're going to go in and give them some medicated water. The first thing I did was clean out their bedding on both sides so that they would have clean bedding, because parasites will just keep multiplying if their bedding is damp and dirty. These are our straight runs. As you can see, they're kind of huddling together, they're not really moving. So far we've lost 2 of the brown ones and 1 of our meat birds. I think the meat birds will be fine because they've already drank down almost a full thing of water and they're moving around. They're looking a little bit better than our straight runs over here. For our sick chicks, we're using Corid. I'm going to do a teaspoon of this into a pint of water. I already cleaned their waters with some bleach, some Clorox. Now that we're in here, I'm going to just kind of walk towards them, and whoever runs away is probably fine, but there are a few that won't even move if you get close to them, so those are going to be the ones that need medication the most. So our chicks were sick with a type of parasite called coccidiosis. And what these parasites do is they destroy the gut lining in the chicks, making them unable to absorb any nutrients, and they get severely dehydrated. I don't have a syringe, so I'm going to pour a little bit of my medicated water into this cap and try to get them to drink some that way. I don't know how well this is going to work. I guess we'll find out. Here you go. So their nostrils are up here, and I'm just dipping the very tip of their beak into the water, but they're not really wanting to drink, so I'm going to put them over by the water and see if they won't drink by themselves. I tried feeding the water to them with the lid, and I don't think it worked so well. I gave that little guy some water with it. He did drink, but I'm not sure if he's going to make it. Some of the rest of them are moving around, but we're going to go to the feed store and get a syringe and try to drench them with a syringe, and that might work better. So after we noticed that the chicks were sick, we moved the pullets and the straight runs out to the chicken coop. And even though we were giving them some Corid, we were drenching the ones that were really sick, we still lost about a dozen total. We're giving them Corid for a total of 5 days, so I think the rest of them will be fine. This area is where we had the big chickens, but you can't put chicks in with the big chickens because they're kind of mean to them. So let me show you what we do every night and every morning to make sure that the chickens don't hurt our little chicks. I like to do this before it gets too dark, because if the chickens can't get into the fence here, they try to go out into the woods and find shelter out there, and then I have to go out and find them and bring them back. The rooster is not here, so I can tell he's already found somewhere to hide for the night. I hear him over in here somewhere. There he is. The rest of the chickens are easy. I just open the gate and they find their way inside. So this is where the chickens roost until I come down to put them into the coop. I'm just going to open the door a little bit. Come on, wake up. Come on. And then I just kind of hang out here and wait for them to find the roost. I have to put the food inside or the coons come out and eat it. to let the chickens out, I just let all of them out at the same time. The pullets usually just make a mad dash for the door. As soon as they're out, the pullets usually go straight to the feed in the water, and the chickens head over to the gate because they want out. We've had this set up for about a week or two, so they're getting more used to each other.
Don't run.
In our garage are the chicks that we had in our house, and this part of the video is filmed a few weeks after we had moved them out. I filmed this whole video over the course of a month, so you're going to be seeing a lot of size difference in the chickens from one clip to another. I didn't originally intend for a lot of my video to be about the chicks and the chickens, but the way our lives are the last while, we have been taking care of the chicks a lot. They go through a lot of feed and a lot of water in a short period of time. So we take care of them twice a day, every single day. And right now we have the chicks in the garage as well as the big meat chickens out in the chicken tractor. And then of course we have the laying hens, the pullets, and the straight runs down by the chicken coop. We have been living completely off-grid for 2 years now, and we ran all of our appliances, things like the washer and my mixer and everything like that, with a generator. But we finally got a solar system installed. Unfortunately, the day that Gideon was installing the solar panels and hooking everything up, I was busy sewing and I completely forgot about filming anything. I no longer have to go start the generator whenever I want to do laundry or mill some grain, and I can now use as much water as I want without having to worry about the pressure tank running out of water and then having to start the generator to fill it back up. Gideon did some work in exchange for the solar system, and right now I think we only have 3 batteries, so we don't have a lot of battery storage, but usually if the sun is shining during the day I can do whatever I need to do in the house, run my dehumidifiers, run my mixer, and I have enough power to do that. But if it gets a little bit cloudy, we have to be a little bit more conservative with our power usage. So in the future, we do want to get more batteries, but for now, the system that we do have is a lot better than the one we had before with our generator. I got this blind from Amazon. It's supposed to be a blackout blind, but I got the wrong size, so there's still light coming in on both sides. So I'm going to hang up a curtain here and then fasten some tie backs. That way I can kind of put the curtains back and still close the blind. I want the curtain to be able to stay together on the top, so I just hand stitched a little bit along the top here so that it won't come apart. That way it'll stay together and it'll look neater when it's hanging. I have recently picked up sewing again. I've always loved to sew and it was one of my hobbies. I think I got started sewing when I was 13. I just did basic single or double fold hems for my mom, you know, just kind of practicing. And then from there I made all of my own dresses, which were also just really simple basic sewing, nothing really too difficult. So I've been having a lot of fun experimenting with new patterns, and I do my sewing right here in this little table. This is actually a makeup table, but I also use it for my sewing table. So now that I do my sewing here, I wanted it to look a little bit more homey and welcoming, so I'm going to hang my curtain here so that it looks a little bit more cozy for whenever I'm sewing. Today we're going to be adding a water hydrant out behind our house so that we can use it to water our garden this summer. Our hot water heater and our pressure tank are in the bathroom, so Gideon just dug down a little bit behind the house and then just spliced the water line directly into the existing ones that are in the bathroom. We planted our tomatoes a few weeks ago and it was time to tie them up so that they don't just lay on the ground and then the tomatoes rot. So we tied those up and then we are going to harvest the last of our radishes for this summer. We like to go to the lake on Sundays to go fishing and just hang out, and usually we take some dinner along and grill it while we're there. It had been a while since we were there, so we knew the grass was going to be pretty high, so we took the weed eater and took the kids over and kind of got everything cleaned up to get it ready for the next day. We have had this canopy for a very long time. I think we got it at a yard sale way back before we had any kids. So it has seen quite a few lake trips and it is starting to fall apart. But we got it set up and we're going to use it today.